think you believe it beats not being at media days means you don't have a job.
That's right. There you go. I like that. Well, Coach Cutcliffe, I have just ditched the college football magazine. We've had enough fun today.
I hear you.
I'm sure you're tired of talking about a lot of X's and O's stuff, so we're going to, basically what I'm trying to do is let our viewers get to know the coaches right here, a little bit something about them. You remember Mr. Bill from last year?
Mr. Bill, yes.
You know, Mr. Bill actually came to the ACC championship game with me last year that he was pulling for you.
And he got Chick-fil-A Bowl stuff on from years past, so we got involvement there, and I see you're proud of your Chick-fil-A
right. Well, actually, the Chick-fil-A Bowl had adopted Mr. Bill. That when they saw him in Birmingham, we were down there actually 2 years ago, put the old helmet on him and used him for publicity stuff. And basically, I got a lifetime offer to come to any of the Chick-fil-A Bowls if Mr. Bill came with me.
Gary Stokin knows a winner when he sees one.
He does a great job with that bowl, but I told him I'm going to have to bring him back. I showed him where Mr. Bill was standing there on the press table on the 50-yard line.
I love it.
But we want to come back, though. So he's a big fan. He's a die-hard Chick-fil-A Bowl person there, and they even stick coupons on him right there for advertising.
I'm a big fan of the Chick-fil-A Bowl myself. I'm not talking about just playing in it, but just how they run it.
And I still hold the record for Chick-fil-A's consumed at the bowl. I had 7 in one day there. I'll never do that again.
No, you might not felt really good after. They're great, but they're not great times 7.
You know, I've always said it's free, give me 3, but I had 7 that day.
Stop at 3 next time.
I will stop at 3 right there. All right, we have David Cutcliffe, the head football coach at Duke. How did you get into coaching? Is that something you always wanted to do?
Absolutely. I had when I was growing up, I lost my father, and you know, you hear this type thing about how important coaches were to young people. Well, I can't even begin to tell you how critically important a number of men were that were my coaches. I was a sports fanatic, a good player, baseball, basketball, football. And so by 15, my nickname was Coach. And I think I probably am doing the right thing. I had an affinity for kind of understanding the game.
If you were not a coach, have you ever thought what you'd be doing?
Absolutely. I know the answer immediately. I would be an elementary school principal.
Neat.
I would take that age group. Those are certainly formative years. That's starting them in education. I'm catching them at the tail end now. I would either want to be front end or tail end, and I love mentoring young people.
Well, I've actually been a teacher for 33 years, so I think you'd be a great principal.
Well, I married a teacher, an elementary school teacher. My daughter is a first grade teacher. My son's a high school teacher and a coach. You know, we got a bonus baby. We got a 14-year-old. I don't know what she's going to do, but if anybody wanted to put a bet on teacher, they probably wouldn't go wrong.
It's kind of neat that my partner and I had to send him out to take one for the team to play golf today. So when I heard I had the opportunity, poor guy, yeah, he kind of had the opportunity of getting to talk with all the coaches today. I said, I can't pass this up, because what we're going to do is let everybody meet the coaches and all. So he said, well, I'll still play golf. I said, go on. So Mr. Bill is my wingman today.
Mr. Bill, and you're a standalone guy, so we
go from there, though. But it's kind of interesting, though, that I, have been a coach all my life until this time, though. But, great opportunity of doing things and working with young people, and think you would be good at that. But we play this game. We were in Birmingham last week, and we sit there and look at the coach. If he were not coaching, what would he be doing? And I think he'd be a good doctor. I think he'd be a good used car salesman. So that's why I'm asking the question.
There's a few used car salesmen.
There are.
But I don't see myself anything. I would be a teacher, and and the reason I said principal, my job right now is certainly coaching football players. But I love coaching young coaches. This is my 39th year. I've been mentored by some really good people. I want to make a difference in the profession. It's not just the player that you're often coaching. You're coaching young coaches. So if you're a principal at a school, how critical is a kindergarten teacher that does it right, or a first grade teacher or a second grade teacher that gives young people confidence, that gives them a thirst for learning, and that's why I said what I said. I know this is you're trying to have fun. I'm being serious, but That's just who I am. It's really, I think people need to pay attention to educators, and we need to support our people, our teachers. That's a big deal to me, that we try to support all of our teachers better than we're doing right now.
And I support you 100% on that, though, and I think you made the comment you have made an impact on people, whether you realize it or not. Over the years, you've made a tremendous impact in the things you've done coaching over the years there.
I appreciate
you
that.
have been one of our favorites, I know, and we always speak highly. I've always been a Duke basketball fan, but now I'm a Duke football fan.
Well, I
even from the
appreciate
state of South
that.
Carolina, and we pull for you every week. And that's why I came to the championship game. Came up to Charlotte last year and got to see you play in the championship game this year and in the bowl game.
The year before, which was a great game. We just got to figure out how to win a bowl game.
Those bowl games in the fourth quarter, they get kind of tough, don't they?
Yeah, but I mean, we've been the best team in both of the games we've played, and the coach found a way to lose.
Tell them, and
I need a tip.
And bowl games just play 3 quarters.
Hey, yeah, well, if I could get the game to stop, we'd have won them all.
But you've had some tough breaks there, but I'm sure the people of Duke are excited about the direction football program's going up there, that they have given them something to cheer about. And like I say, that we've had Mr. Bill and I have had a lot of fun. We always check the Duke score every Saturday to see how Duke does on that. Some topics during the offseason kind of interesting. What do you think about the playoff system?
You know, I'm glad we're at 4 teams. I think it's going to be harder to pick number 3 and number 4. But I will tell you that people that holler and scream, I want to see a real champion, let's win it on the field. Well, we're not a tournament sport. Our playoff starts week 1. You stump your toe in week 3, you may not be number 4, you may be number 5. Mm-hmm. So our fans get the best of the best, a meaningful regular season. And I think if we had any more than 4 teams, you would dilute it and you turned it into a tournament. And football's not a tournament sport. It's a Spartan sport to some level and degree, but if 4 teams find their way and earn their way into that opportunity, we'll come out with a champion. But I think we've done well with 2. I would argue that most years we've gotten it right in college football while protecting a great regular season, and I think we better think about that as we move forward.
Okay. All right, next issue. What do you think about the stipends for athletes being able to help with that?
I think it's another area. I want to do anything we can do to help college athletes, but it's a bigger, more complex picture than talking about they deserve some money in their pocket. The quality of their education, certainly the well-being and health of a college football player. We're talking all athletes, number 1. You know, feeding them well. I don't think we want to get exotic. I think that's a mistake and a bad message to send to an 18, 19, 20-year-old. Let's focus on school. Let's focus on being the best person they can be. And I think we got to be careful with where we're going in this. And I'm not going to make the decision. It's way beyond David Cutcliffe, although I have a vested interest. My recommendation would be all you rules makers and every commissioners, and move very smartly and very slowly. We don't have a broken product. Let's think about this as we move forward.
I've heard some ideas, too, about even, including the parents on that lots of times maybe the parents never even get a chance to go see where their son or daughter goes to school, possibly even reward the parents for a bowl game, and even Coach Schaefer had mentioned it would be kind of neat if they could fly the parents for graduation in that may not have the money to come.
Yeah, I think there's talk all the way from flying parents into every football game, which you're getting into.
That'd be hard.
We're not just talking about football. There's every athlete there. You can't separate this. So I think it's financially very challenging in that regard. Would I love the opportunity to have parents come see graduation? You absolutely. And I think that certainly I would love to have our parents let us pay for them to come in for the official visit. We recruit young men from Washington State and California. I want to be able to have their parents come in for that official visit to get a real good feeling of who we are. So, again, there's some great ideas, some super things that we can do with this, but let's move slowly as we put all this together. We don't want the law of unintended consequences to bite us, which it will be if we go at this out of control.
All right, let's change gears for a second. Let's talk a little bit about your returning football team there. You know, what can we expect this year, and talk to us about what you have coming back.
I like our team on defense starting in the back end, which in this era in the secondary is so critical because you can't give up big plays. People are going to make yards. They're even going to score some points. But if you give up explosives at a fast rate, you're going to have trouble. I like our linebacking core. I like our front. I'm anxious to see, and I hope that those guys are hungry. And we lost some good players there, but I think we may surprise people defensively in 2014. You flip over to the offense, I think the thing we're all look for is replacing an offensive guard and a tackle. We've got really our skilled people back for the most part. We got a lot. We lost Brandon Cannett, so we got to develop a backup quarterback. But right now going in, our skilled folks in the secondary on defense and our skilled folks on offense are pretty good football players.
What concerns do you have going in this year?
Well, right tackle, probably as much as anything, and will our defensive front hold up? We lost 3 starters in the defensive line. I like our depth. I like our new people, but I think those questions have to be answered. And then we got a great return game potentially in the kicking game, and we've got returning punter and place kicker that are both outstanding. I want to see more consistency from them. I think they're going to have consistently good years for Duke to compete for a championship again.
I'm a 6'5" senior at Durham High School. Tell me why I should come play at Duke University.
Well, what we have is we have an unparalleled education and educational opportunity. It's real. The thing we've done now, we're giving you as good a football opportunity as anybody in the country. We've got practice facilities. The stadium's getting ready to happen. It is an incredible opportunity. Before, a great football player, you'd have a hard time choosing Duke because of the quality of the football. Great school. But if you want the best of both worlds, come on, man, it's a 50-year decision, not a 4-year decision. Let us help you benefit from a great education and a great football experience.
What do you do for an encore? You go to a bowl 2 years ago. Everybody says that's a fluke. You come back the next year, you win the division championship, go to championship game. Now, do you feel like that things are, you've got things pretty solid right now where you want them to be?
Yeah, I think we have a hungry football team. And the one thing we haven't done, now think about this, we've lost 2 bowl games 2 years in a row. Let's hold a trophy up in the air our last football game. That's something that I want every Duke football player to be hungry to do. There's nothing that feels better. I've done it a lot. When you hoist that trophy up in your very last football game, that one lasts quite some time.
What do you enjoy most about coaching at Duke?
The quality of our people. We have really attracted great staff. Our equipment room people are the best in the business. I can say that about every part. And then the players that we have attracted and that attract each other, I should say, makes every day really a day of joy to go in and spend time there.
We really enjoyed last year when we talked about what you did during the off season with the fishing, and you're a serious fisherman and all like that. All right, I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to throw one at you. My age, I'm already marking them off on my bucket list. What have you got on your bucket list you still want to accomplish?
Well, I've never been a traveler, and at Duke or personally, I think while I'm coaching, it's difficult. But my bucket list is there are a few things in Europe I would like to do. Rome, Greece, probably Barcelona, just from seeing it on television through the years, probably London, Ireland. But how do you have time as a football coach?
Right.
I've heard these guys go do that, and I can't do that. So that's kind of the personal bucket list. At Duke, to be honest with you, the big thing is to see the total transformation to where 5 years from now, I'm still the coach at Duke. And the conversation isn't anymore, are you going to be able to maintain this? The conversation is, completely different. Coach, we know you're going to compete for a championship. You know, you feel like you've got a quality of enough team. Are you going to have an opportunity to win a national championship? That may sound like a dream. I like to look at it as a vision, and we're hungry to do that and intend over this next 5 years to make a difference in our program. We don't see ourselves going back. We see ourselves moving forward.
And I think you will, and we have enjoyed watching the Blue Devils play over the past couple of years, and Mr. Bill and I will continue to check those scores out on Saturday, though, and we'll be pulling not only for Duke basketball, but Duke football is on our priority list now.
Mr. Bill, one question for you. Are you the number one guy in the state of South Carolina that wears a visor, or because of the obvious, are you the number 2 visor wearer in the state of South Carolina?
And his comment is,
question. Okay, I'm not going to tell everybody else what Mr. Bill said, and I think we all know who we're referring to as the other advisor.
That's right.
But we'll keep that between me and Mr. Bill.
We will leave it right there. So David Cutcliffe has been our special guest. Coach, good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing your team play.
Thank you. That was a good one by me.
Yes, it was. I like that.
I know that's why.